Hi, everyone. I'm Sunny.
I'm Rachel.
And I'm Rox, and this is
Literature on the Rocks.
It's our summary episode.
Oh, that didn't have the same impact.
Such a
It was
light.
too sweet.
I feel like book club is a party. The summary is buckle in because we're deep diving
With a drink.
with a dry. I guess, yeah. Why do I think book club is a party? We don't even drink on our book clubs.
Conversation is so deep sometimes.
I guess I could be like, summary.
Oh,
Let's go.
I feel like I need to like pat you on the head with your helmet, smack you on the butt.
Yeah.
I'll still take the slap.
All right. Okay, I had a vendor do something.
Okay.
Oh my
And
God.
I want to know how you guys would have felt about it.
Okay.
I have this vendor who we work with often. He injured himself and was telling me he couldn't do something when he was supposed to because he injured himself. But he injured himself on his foot, and so he sent me a picture of his foot. And we know how I feel about feet already. So, like, immediately it was a fat, swollen, gross foot, and it was a foot. So, like, opened the text like, la, 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 no. I immediately deleted it, and then everyone was upset that I deleted it because they're like, well, I want to see his foot. And I was like, I didn't. So I deleted the pictures. I don't need those pictures. My question is twofold. One, how would you feel if someone sent you their picture of their feet to let you know that they're clearly injured? I'm trying to prove it to you. And two, would you ever?
Would I ever send a photo of my foot?
I don't think I would send it because I have gotten, so a few years ago, I got a tooth pulled and it was gnarly. It broke while they pulled it out. It was crazy. I had it done at the end of the workday. I was going to go back into work at 4:30 in the morning the next day. And when I woke up at 3, my whole right side of my face was just throbbing. And so I called out. When I went into work the next day, my boss was like, well, what happened? And I was like, well, I told you, motherfucker, I got my tooth pulled. And I was like, do you want to see it? And I prefaced that.
Yeah.
And then they said, yeah. So I showed them my fucked up picture of the broken tooth.
Okay.
But I would always ask. I'm not just going to send it in a text like, my face is throbbing. Here's my bloody tooth.
An unsolicited foot pic is the same as unsolicited other pics. Okay.
Now, if it had been an injury anywhere else, would you have felt this way? Like if
Like
he's
if
like,
he
oh,
broke his arm
I
and sent you a
speared
photo of his arm.
my
It
wrist.
depends on what you're. If I broke my arm and bones coming through and you can see it, yeah, that's an unsolicited bloody bone pic.
So you're
I don't want
like
to see
you don't
either.
want a gory photo.
Yeah, I don't want a gory photo.
But was the foot gory?
No,
Or
I mean
it's
it
just
was
a foot?
swollen,
Did he, like,
black,
sprain his
blue.
foot?
Like
Like-
it was definitely injured, but it wasn't like bloody.
Oh, okay.
So I think that there is like if you're like, oh, I have a bruise
If it
on
was
my
their
arm.
face and they were that black and blue, would you have been like, oh God?
I would have been like, I think we do. Do you need help?
Blink
Blink
twice if you need help.
But would you have been offended by the face?
No, but I also think like I see faces all the time, right? And
You don't
maybe
see
if it was
feet all the time?
No, I avoid them.
Okay.
Most people have them covered up in shoes.
Okay. I don't want to take away from your story. But I had a very odd thing happen to
Okay,
me
no,
with
tell me.
someone at work, and it
take it
involved
away.
my feet. So my feet were, no, they're in shoes at work. Clearly, I'm not ridiculous.
I have my toes out all the time at work.
Wild.
These piggies be free. I'm just kidding.
She is the one to love to be barefoot, though, so that makes more sense.
I'm
barefoot most of the time at home.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I guess I am too, but
No, you wear socks. You are
I
not
do
barefoot.
wear socks
You are not.
most
That
of
is
the
not
time.
barefoot.
it is barefoot. I'm not wearing shoes.
Absolutely not. Barefoot means there's nothing in
Good
contact
bear. It
between
is
your foot.
Very little
They're as
material
free
between
as
my
the
feet.
day you were born.
If you said I was standing by a window naked, would you have underwear and a bra on?
Yeah,
That's not
that would feel
naked.
naked to me.
You're in a bikini, basically. Everyone, no
Yeah,
one's
well,
seen
it's
your
not a
guts.
bikini though.
If you got in water, it could be. Anyways, so this person that I don't really know at work was making a comment to one of my associates about my resting bitch face, but he was describing me, and it was like, yeah, she, whatever, he called me, he said I looked bougie, which fuck you, motherfucker, because I am. But also, he was like, oh, she has a tattoo on her right foot. I normally wear tennis shoes at work. How he saw that I have a tattoo on the top of my right foot, I don't fucking know. And if I do wear flats, I'm wearing pants that cover my foot. So how observant and foot fetishy do you have to be to know that I have that tattoo and to know it well enough that that's how you would choose to describe me to somebody who doesn't know who you're talking to because you don't know my name?
I definitely wouldn't describe someone's feet when I was describing a person. I wouldn't ever.
I mean, I maybe would have gone with like she has a nose piercing. You know,
No, it wasn't that. It was
everyone sees when they
tattoo
pass by.
on my foot. A bougie tattoo. That's me. So anyway, sorry to take away from, but
No,
that was just, he clearly has a foot fetish.
That is weird.
Because
That's a weird one.
why would you
it's
pick
an
that?
odd describer.
Well, let me tell you, I can describe these vendors' toes. And I don't like it.
I feel like you have a close relationship with that vendor for them to have felt free enough to send you a photo of their foot.
Or it was an excuse, and that was the best way to send it.
It was an excuse. It was an excuse, and it was a proof because there's definitely a history there. So he was proving that he was injured.
In my experience working with people, that oftentimes when they send you photos of their excuse, it's because they've had, and
They feel
maybe not
guilty.
in this, not in your situation, but like with mine, they've already had many attendance issues.
Yeah.
And so now they're like, no, I really need to prove to you that this is,
Yes,
it's like
I
if you
promise you I hurt my foot.
yeah, like if you
Yeah.
hadn't had so many attendance issues, I wouldn't have cared if you had a hurt foot. I'd been
He
like,
also
okay,
sent me
whatever.
multiple photos, not just one.
Different angles.
Multiple photos, different angles, and most of them, his toes were cut off. He was like, I'm gonna send her a picture of my foot, but the toes might be too much. That's a little intimate.
You got to pay for the toes.
But then there, yeah, no.
Want to see more? Click here.
Yeah, I just
Maybe he was workshopping only feet ideas and he thought you would be the person to test those out. Like secondary income. Excuse me, Bradley. It was highly inappropriate
Yeah,
of you
imagine.
to solicit me
You
foot
should have
pictures.
I should have said
HR.
new phone. Who dis?
You should have HR call him and talk about his inappropriate message.
He's going to be like, I didn't send her my dick like I wanted to. I sent her my foot.
I wanted to.
All right.
Oh man. Oh,
Speaking of weird shit, let's get into anxious people.
We're diving into Anxious People by Fredrik Backman. Well, why don't you hit us with an author bio?
Oh gosh. Okay, Fredrik Backman is a Swedish novelist, columnist, and former blogger born in Sweden in 1981. Backman didn't take a traditional path into writing. He worked a variety of jobs, including a forklift driver and a freelance writer, while building his voice through blogging columns about everyday life. His breakthrough came with his debut novel, A Man Called Ove, in 2012, a story inspired by a small real-life moment he observed while standing in line, which quickly grew into an international bestseller. The book spent over a year on the New York Times bestseller list and was later adapted into multiple films. Backman is known for writing deeply human stories that explore loneliness, community, grief, and connection. His novels include Beartown, Anxious People, and My Grandmother Asked Me to Tell You She's Sorry. These focus less on plot twists and more on the emotional lives of ordinary people placed in extraordinary circumstances. Backman has said that many of his ideas come from everyday interactions and small human moments, which he then expands into deeply layered stories. Backman lives in Stockholm. So he lives in Stockholm with his wife and 2 children, and much of his work reflects his own experience with family, anxiety, and connection, including his nonfiction book, The Things My Son Needs to Know About the World, which is inspired by his journey into fatherhood. I kind of want to read that one. I don't know how emotionally
Charged
available I am for it. Yeah. Today, his books are published in dozens of countries and languages, and he's widely recognized for his ability to make readers laugh, cry, and feel seen. Oh my gosh.
Do you have a summary for this wonderful novel?
I do. So Anxious People starts with what should be a simple crime and immediately goes off the rails. A would-be bank robber ends up in a situation no one planned for, trapping a group of strangers together in a space that quickly becomes more emotional than dangerous. But the story isn't really about the crime. It's about the people in the room, all carrying their own quiet struggles, regrets, and anxieties. As their stories unfold, you start to see how deeply human they all are and how their lives overlap in ways they don't even realize at first. It's a messy, a little chaotic, sometimes funny, and sometimes heartbreaking, and ultimately a reminder that most people are just doing their best, even when it doesn't look like it.
Pip, pip.
All right. Oh my gosh.
I'm excited to try
Okay.
this cocktail.
Here. Oh yeah, let's talk about the cocktail. Jesus.
All right. So this cocktail, it was when we were talking about it. So when you read the book, a lot of times throughout the book, he starts talking about like, this book is about blah, blah, blah. And at one point he does say, this book, maybe it's about idiots. Like he changes it throughout the book, what it's about. And at one point he says idiots. And so we were like, let's make it a cocktail that's simple enough that even an idiot could make it, but it needs to feel a little bit complex and then in the end still be enjoyable. So our cocktail today we are calling the I'm Fine Fizz. I'm Fine Fizz. It's got 2 ounces of vodka, 1 ounce of elderflower liqueur, 1 ounce of fresh lemon juice, and then we shook it up. We topped it with some Prosecco and a Salt Bay pinch of salt, which is, if you watch the video, that's what that is, okay?
Not a goose. Or swan.
And then we did do a drizzle of honey down the side of it. So that's it.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh,
Okay.
I think I like this. Like, it is really simple.
Yeah, it was easy to make.
Vodka, lemon juice, Prosecco.
And elderflower liqueur.
That's that. Yeah.
It's very light and like airy. I
And
feel like
it's kind of
Lemony
like
champagne.
Yeah.
This is what it gives me.
But it kind
Like
of
a
is like this
limoncello.
story where it,
But less sweet.
it feels complicated when you're talking about it, but then it's not.
Yeah,
Like after you get down to
actually,
everything, it's
yeah.
not.
Yeah.
yes.
It's a perfect cocktail for anxious people.
Yes, it is.
The book.
Who would have thought?
But also maybe actually anxious people.
I don't know if
mean,
anxious people should be drinking.
I feel
I
good.
am so
I'm pretty
surprised by the
anxious.
salt in here.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe it gives it a little bit like
enhances
that
the
tart.
flavor a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, because the lemon's not super biting.
Yeah.
So maybe that helped that.
Oh, maybe, yeah. Because it was a lot of lemon juice.
It was.
Anyways, recommend.
Yeah.
All right,
right,
let's
get
jump
into it.
into this. So my...
Oh,
yeah, go.
what if we did the Rob Bass song?
You gotta sing
It takes chumps to make a thing go right. It takes chunks to make it out of sight.
Hey! Okay. Thank you. Okay, so let's get into my chumps. It's chapters 1 through 13. The narrator introduces the story as a bank robbery / hostage drama. The book is said to be about many things, but centralizes on idiots and one single bad idea.
Yeah.
Hence the idiot-proof drink that we created. The bank robber is introduced. There's someone who left home with a fake gun, and that set off a chain of unfortunate events. This book does go back and forth. It's like kind of all over the place. It's really,
Yeah, it
the
does.
timeline is wild. It's not just like from start to finish. It's all over the place.
Forward, backwards, then 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It really
so
makes you anxious.
I think, yeah, right. Flashing back to 10 years ago, there is an unknown man standing on a bridge at the end of his life, quote unquote. And so you get these like little flashes of pieces all throughout the book until
Just
the end where
know
you see
they go
yeah.
back together.
Yeah. Coming back to the present day, it's the day before New Year's Eve. A young police officer named Jack interviews one of the former hostages, who is a real estate agent. All of the characters have great voices for who they play.
Yes, and their personalities are really shining through in the audiobook.
For sure. The agent was hosting an open house for the apartment where the hostages were held. She won't answer his questions directly, and she talks constantly about the agent she works for, along with selling highlights of the apartment. Like, she's turned on to sell mode, and she's not actually helping the police officer at all.
He's like, why do you think they went in there? Who wouldn't with that open floor plan and those raised ceilings? He's like, bitch, that's not what I asked you. It was really funny to listen to.
Yeah, it was. So the narrator explains the unusual hostage situation. The bank robber let everyone go, and the cops assumed the bank robber is still in the apartment. However, when the cops enter the apartment, they can't find the robber, and there's blood on the ground.
Yes.
So, like, we think they're still in here, and they're potentially hurt, and we need to figure out what's going on. Flashback again, 10 years ago, there's a man. He stood on a bridge. He's contemplating suicide. The narrator tells the reader they would have tried to stop the man because that's what a decent person would do. So, like, a lot of the times the narrator's talking to you. Like, would you have, you would have tried to stop this man. You're a decent person. You're probably thinking to yourself, I think I'm a pretty decent person. I would try and stop this man from jumping, right? So back to the interrogation, Jack continues questioning the real estate agent. She explains that she wasn't scared during the hostage situation because she didn't believe the gun was real. Jack knows the gun was real and realizes the real estate agent is out of touch and possibly in shock. Like she's suffering from some trauma right now. The narrator admits that none of the former hostages knows exactly what happened after they were released. After everyone left, a gunshot sounded from the apartment and the cops entered to find lots of blood on the carpet. Jack interacts with an older cop named Jim. The narrator leaves the nature of their relationship ambiguous, but it's clear there's like some sort of complicated connection between the two officers. Jack favors rules and duty. He's younger. And Jim's motivation comes from the feeling that he's doing the right thing. He's a little bit older and out of touch with like technology and stuff. Mm-hmm. In later chapters, it's revealed that Jack is Jim's son. Jim interrupts Jack's continued interrogation of the real estate agent, thinking he is helping. Jim can tell his son is hurting emotionally and he wants to comfort him, but doesn't know how. Flashing back to those 10 years ago to the man standing on the bridge, Jack, as a teen at the time, tries to beg the man not to jump. So his dad is a police officer growing up, and he is thinking about wanting to become a police officer. He sees this guy about to jump, and he thinks, I'm going to go save his life. The man tells him that he has children, and being a parent is hard because you're always judged by your worst moments. This was like, this whole chapter.
Home. Oh, yeah.
Like really struck a chord. He talks about how, like, if you're at the park and you're watching your kid play the whole time at this park, and then you look at your phone for 10 seconds and your kid gets hit in the head with a swing, everyone looks at you and says, what a horrible parent you are for letting your kid get hit in the head with a swing.
Playing on your fucking phone.
But they don't talk about the 2 weeks that your kid hasn't gotten hurt by anything because you've just been staring at them the whole time and making sure they're not getting hurt. But you're judged on that 2-second moment where you looked away and your kid got hurt.
And the worst part is it always happens in those damn 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Like literally you could be the most attentive parent. You turn around for 1 second and that's the time they decide to jump off the couch.
Which I felt like what's really crazy is I've never seen a kid get hurt in a park and thought, what a bad parent.
Oh yeah, me
I
neither.
shouldn't say never, but there might have been.
I don't think I've ever thought bad parent. I thought not present parent.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've thought more of like, hey, can you pay attention to your kid?
Yeah,
because
but not that they're
knocking kids over
But
or
I would
doing
say
things.
if it was an accident, they got hit in the head with the swing, I would not think bad parent.
No.
If they fell off the slide and then they went on the monkey bars and fell and then they did right, then I'm like, okay, where's your
or
parents
like
at?
a kid that's running around throwing sand at people.
That's
like,
what I mean.
Stuff like that. Not
Yeah.
like just the getting hit on the because
Right.
kids run into walls all the damn time. And what I mean by not being present is like maybe they're here, but like mentally they're not.
Right,
and
right.
That doesn't make them bad, but you don't know what the hell's going on in their life.
Right. So I've never thought that. But for sure, if my kid's gotten hurt on a park, I'm thinking, wow, I'm such a bad parent. I can't believe I looked away and I looked at my phone. And I'm probably judging myself in that way.
Probably harsher than most people are judging you.
Yeah, for sure. So just this guy's whole thing, I don't think anyone's looking at you thinking you were a bad parent. And then so revealing he lost his life savings, he talks about having kids, and Jack thinks that he's helping this man. He's talking about it. Like, of course you have something to live for. You have kids.
Yeah.
So he talks about how he's done all the right things. He invested in his things. He's invested in his children's future. He set up this really big cushion for his kids to land on whenever they needed. And all of a sudden, banks went bankrupt and things happened, and he's lost all of this significant amount of savings, and now he has nothing. He can't even afford a house to live in, and he's so ashamed by it that he ends up jumping with Jack right there, which is wild. What a thing to witness.
Yeah.
But not being able to save him haunts Jack to this very day. So back in present day, Jim is interviewing the real estate agent by himself now because Jack has walked away in frustration, and asks if she recognizes a drawing that the robber might have left. It was a child's drawing of a monkey, frog, and a horse. Or maybe a giraffe.
They weren't really sure.
It's like clearly a kid's drawing and you're trying to interpret what it is.
Yes. Jack is angry. The interviews are not going his way, and he throws his coffee up. He wants to save now this person who he thinks is injured in this apartment. And he's frustrated that he can't get straight answers from anybody, it seems. Jim feels sympathy for his son. The narrator describes the two men as being very different, but they are similar in their love for Jack's late mother. Also, they both love Jack's sister, who is in active addiction. She is like, asks for money, they send her money, and she's like, I want to come home, I want to be better. Can you send me money for a flight? They send her money, and then
She doesn't
ever show up. She doesn't take the flight. She gets sucked back into her drug addiction. Jim tries to encourage his son, but Jack can't stop thinking about the man on that bridge.
And then we jump into chapters 14 to 28. There's a transcript of Jack interviewing a 20-year-old bank teller named London. This
Oh gosh, London.
is one of my favorite parts. London won't directly answer his questions and is super sarcastic.
Yes.
She is such a snarky asshole and it is so funny. He like starts commenting about how unusual her name is, and then she just flat out
London.
she's like, are you smoking something? And he's like, wait, what? And then she starts mocking him and she's like, what? And it is so funny.
It's funny because he's like, how did you get that name? And she's like, my parents named me that.
I wrote in my notes, as soon as chapter 14 started, I just wrote, I hate London.
She was annoying, but
Yeah.
she was so funny to listen to her talk shit to him.
Like, I would
gets-
hate to see her in real life, as a real life person.
Yes.
But I've met Londons in my life.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. And for him to just be so like taken aback and not know how to handle her.
Yes.
And he's supposed to be like the big policeman doing the investigation. She's like,
Yeah.
The narrator claims that it wasn't the bank robber's fault. They couldn't rob the bank. The robber didn't realize until it was too late that the bank was cashless.
Which, what is the point of a bank if it's cashless? What are you doing at cashless banks?
I don't know, maybe transferring
The
money
only reason
or
why I ever go to a bank.
money, cashier's checks, money orders, wire transfers.
I don't.
When the bank robber entered, they asked for 6,500 kroner, which London thought was a strange amount. And it's funny that she like pieces it together and Jack's like, I wonder what she means by that's a strange amount. So Jack, it's the transcript again of him questioning London, and Jack asks if she remembers anything about the robber's appearance. So Jack references the robber as a male, and London says Jack has a sick binary view of gender.
That's exactly how she spoke.
Yeah,
too.
it does.
After the bank robber left the bank, they panicked and ran into the apartment complex to avoid the cops. This was the start of the hostage situation. This person was just like, oh shit, this is cashless. I need to get out of here. Then just randomly saw cops on the street and was like, I gotta go, and runs into this apartment building. The narrator claims the man who died by suicide on the bridge and the robber have moral hazard in common. The man lost his wealth in the banking crash. The robber learned moral hazard at 7 when they earned extra money for Christmas and their mother spent it on alcohol. The bank robber grew up and promised themselves never to become like their mother. The man on the bridge sent a letter to the banker and then jumped off of the bridge. Because the banks use the get out of jail free card of moral hazard to excuse when patrons lose a shit ton of money, whether it be in the stock or their poor banking decisions. It's you have moral hazard going into this agreement of putting your money with the bank. So back to the hostage situation. Jim and Jack are the first ones on the scene. The small town has never seen a hostage situation before, and Jack took one course on the subject. It was really funny to me that they were like, what do we do? Like, do we call the big guys in Stockholm? Like, oh, I took a course on this when I was going to go through the academy. Like, okay, you have the most experience then.
Yeah,
like,
right?
Okay. But then he can't recall any helpful information.
Yeah. And they're like, how do we get a hold of them? How do we know the number? How do we, right?
Do we call up? Are there neighbors? Can they go knock on the door? So the narrator states some truths. They believe that most people would agree that lies, stealing, and killing are wrong. Then the narrator kind of goes on this tangent, and they start wondering if it's acceptable to kill an animal that's attacking a person because they're attacking a person.
All these like moral conundrums.
Yes, and then the narrator connects that this bank robber, a person motivated by fear of losing their children, the bank robber went through a nasty divorce after their spouse cheated with the robber's boss and then left them with nothing.
Yes.
Their ex threatened to take their daughters away unless they could sustain themselves, so get
Which
housing.
is like, yeah, I'm robbing a bank and I'm killing
Yes,
somebody.
yeah. They thought they could quietly rob a bank, use the funds to pay rent, and eventually repay the bank somehow.
Because if I don't have a house, I don't get my kids.
Exactly.
Right.
So I need to figure out, I don't have a job because my significant other is cheated, had an
the
affair
breadwinner.
with my boss.
So I'm getting fired.
I've gotten fired because my boss had an affair with my significant other.
Shitty end of the stick all around.
Yes.
You lost
I'm
everything to this one
Taking
scenario.
at least one gun into a bank.
At least one, if not two. So back to the hostage drama. The police call in experts at Stockholm because they don't know what the fuck they're doing. So Jim calls the neighbors across the hall from where the hostage situation is going on, and he finds out they're a young couple and they're in the process of breaking up. So they're going to put their house on the market. The bank robber didn't mean to start the hostage drama. They ran into the open apartment to hide. When looking at their reflection, the robber realizes they're not the captives here. I am. In the transcript, Jim and Zara, a former hostage, Zara is constantly belittling Jim and refuses to directly answer his questions. Zara is wealthy and looks down on people who aren't. And she's seen a psychologist named Nadia shortly before being held hostage, and she wants more sleeping pills because she's contemplating killing herself with the sleeping pills, but her doctor won't prescribe them anymore, and so she goes to the psychiatrist hoping they will prescribe them for her because she just needs to collect a little bit more. So Zara is confrontational with Nadia, and this is her way of keeping Nadia at a distance. She's super snarky, doesn't really go in there, and she wants to talk more about Nadia than about herself. But Nadia can immediately see that Zara is lonely. But Nadia is also like, I'm a professional. Like in her head, she's like, I'm professional. And like the diagnosis isn't just that she's lonely, but clearly she's lonely. Like,
Yeah.
So Nadia realizes.
And she doesn't give her the sleeping pills.
No, she's like, I'm not giving them to you. Nadia realizes just how ill Zara is when they're going back and forth. And Zara's like, well, it's because I have cancer. No. And she was like, oh my God, I'm. Like, in Nadia's head, it all, like, clicks. Like, oh, my God, you have cancer. Like, you have a serious
terminal illness.
Like, when did you get diagnosed? Like, she starts talking to her, and she's like, well, obviously I don't have cancer. I was lying to make my point. She was like, what the fuck, Zara?
And she does that the whole time.
Yes.
To everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So Nadia...
And everyone is beneath her. No one is as smart as her. She is a very smart woman. And
she is. She was the head of the bank.
Yeah, I was going to say she's like runs a bank. And she has so much opinions about how banks run and economy and how people use banks.
And anybody who puts their money in a bank is an idiot because we basically tell you we're probably going to lose it.
Yeah.
It's a risk you're taking.
Moral hazard.
Please sign.
Yes.
So Nadia develops some empathy for Zara, and Nadia asks Zara to interpret a painting in her office. And Zara says that the woman might be thinking of suicide, and Nadia starts to feel concerned with her. She's like, no one has ever had that
because it's
interpretation.
Like a woman walking on a beach or something. Like it's
or a bridge.
Yeah, maybe. But she's not like looking like she's about to jump.
I thought Nadia painted this.
I did too.
Like from her past.
Yes.
Or it was a painting of Nadia. I thought there was some sort of connection to Nadia.
Yes. Back with Jim and Zara, Jim keeps pushing Zara for straight answers. She does answer one question honestly. When Jim asked why she wasn't scared of the pistol, she said she's been contemplating to kill herself. So why am I going to be scared of this person hauling ass in here with a gun?
Here we go again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. She was surprised to realize that when confronted with death, she wanted to live.
Weird how that works.
Flashback. Session between Nadia and Zara. Zara tells Nadia about her new hobby of viewing middle-class apartments, which is how she ended up in this damn hostage situation. She doesn't tell Nadia that she's been doing this for 10 years to cope with the guilt of one of her banking customers jumping off of a bridge. She feels responsible for the man on the bridge's suicide. And before leaving the session, Zara asks Nadia if she believes that there are bad people in the world. Nadia says yes. And Zara doesn't say it out loud, but she believes that she's a bad person. She carries around the unopened letter from the man who died by suicide, believing it to be a declaration of how bad she is. The narrator reiterates this is a story about idiots. A week after the man on the bridge died, a teenage girl stood on the edge of the same bridge. The girl was Nadia. She didn't have any obvious trauma or grief. She was just sad. Extreme loneliness led her to the bridge, but Jack saw her. He was like, not a fucking again. Not a week later. He runs up to her side, doesn't even talk to her, just pulls her down off of the edge of the bridge. And he pulls her so hard that she hits her head. She wakes up in the hospital. She's never seen Jack again since. But Zara witnessed Jack saving Nadia that day. And Zara could never bring herself to approach Nadia, but she followed her life, which is how she ended up at her door.
She was creepily stalking her.
Yes.
For years.
Yes.
Now she's like, I'll hire you to be my therapist.
So I can find out more about you, more intimate details. Then we flashback moments before the robber entered the apartment. The apartment viewing is said to be a disaster right from the start. The potential buyers are all arguing about something. Zara is being judgmental of the decor. Annalena and Roger, a retired couple, are making false accusations to lower the interest. Like they go in like
me up.
they are going into these things to buy and flip them. Like that's their retirement fund.
Mold?
Yeah.
It smells damp in here. There's got to be mold. And he's like, not now, Anna. Like I told you to say that this time. So Julia and Ro are a young pregnant couple, and they're arguing about whether or not to buy the place. Ro is kind of felt very much like a hippie, and they were just about like vibes and like this isn't
Free
the right.
love.
Oh, yeah.
This isn't the right place. And Julia's like heavily pregnant. Like we just need to pick a fucking house.
Like,
Yeah.
just like it.
Yeah, because they'd seen multiple homes.
Yeah.
And Ro just cannot decide because she needs a
She's
cheese room
finding
and a
something wrong
like,
with
yes.
this.
Yes. So Zara is the first to notice the robber, and when Annalena notices the ski mask and the gun, she yells, "We're being robbed!" And everyone except Zara starts panicking.
And that starts my chumps, which is 29 through 43. So then we jump to the transcript of Jack interrogating Annalena. She doesn't answer his questions and recounts her marriage troubles instead. She just talks about how, like, her and Roger, like, they just don't agree, and they're constantly bickering about these houses, and
they have like these like little sprinklings of like
Love and happiness.
Well, yeah, but like she like will sprinkle in like I just can't believe what I did to him.
yes,
And then like or someone will say something
I just
like
wanted him to
and-
feel.
yeah, like or like someone will sprinkle in like this little like well, there's this many of us unless you count the rabbit, and you're like, what the
hell is happening?
Yes.
But like every other hostage, she's not answering any of the questions directly.
It's making more confusion, really.
Yes. Then we jump to the narrator, and the narrator says the hostages don't take the bank robber seriously. Roger keeps provoking the robber, demanding to know if they're being robbed or held hostage. They're like, what's happening here? Because the robber, I think, goes in obviously thinking like, oh, I'm the captive person here. Obviously terrified, has no freaking clue what they're doing. And
I don't want to hurt any of you.
yes, and I think that they go in and say that, like, I'm not here to hurt you guys. And they're like, so then what are we doing in here?
Yeah.
And then they all kind of start
Why are you
questioning.
holding us hostage?
Yeah, so
the robber's like, I'm not.
yes. And so then Zara keeps making disparaging comments about the dirty state of the apartment because she's too good to be in this middle class apartment.
And now I'm stuck in here.
Yes. And Julia questions if the gun is real. Estelle, an elderly woman, claps loudly in exclamation, and they think it's a gunshot and fall to the floor. Everybody's just like down quick. Roger instinctively falls on top of Annalena to protect her, which
And she's
is
like, oh,
he does love me.
still.
Yes. So then transcripts of Jim's interrogation of Estelle. She says she's enjoyed the excitement. And Jim asks about the drawing, but she brings
she's
up
like
how
in
nice.
her 80s.
Yeah, she's an older lady.
old.
Jim asks about the drawing, but she brings up how nice Julia and Ro are. So we flash back to the apartment. Julia and Ro are arguing. Julia needs to use the restroom, but then everyone realizes the bathroom door is locked. Julia, being like ready to pop, is like, I need to pee, you guys. I've been in here for hours now, and I need to go. And they're like, wait a second, why is that door locked? Estelle talks about Julia and Ro being from Stockholm, which Jim interprets as a code word for gay.
Which she definitely insinuates.
Yes.
She's like, they're not from Stockholm, they're from Stockholm.
Literally like that, too.
Not that I have anything wrong with people from Stockholm, but they are from Stockholm. Nice couple.
Yes. And she also says Roger and Annalena had a huge argument about the rabbit, but doesn't clarify what that means. And, and Jim's like, a rabbit? Like, he's just totally lost at this point.
Yes.
He is trying his damnedest to do some hardcore police work.
Yes.
And everyone, like even Zara mentioned, like, right, the count of people,
Yes.
unless you count the rabbit. And then he's like, what are you talking about? And now she's saying something like, oh, they argued about the rabbit. And you're like, what is this rabbit? Someone needs to clarify.
Yes. So then we flash back to the hostages trying to figure out who's in the bathroom. Annalena begs them not to knock, but then they do, and the person on the other side knocks back, and then Annalena starts crying. She's like, oh my God, I didn't mean to. And she's losing her mind over this. So then the transcripts of Jack interrogating Roger. Roger gets defensive about his wife, and Roger insists that the floor plan is wrong, and he believes there are 3 feet missing from the measurements between the walls. So before they go into any open house, he like pulls the blueprints of the home. He really inspects every piece of it so that he can truly understand the square footage.
And his mind is, I'm going to flip this house with all these homes that they buy. And Annalena is like, I just want a home to live in, but I want Roger to be happy. So we just keep doing these things.
We just keep flipping these homes and, and so he's just dead set on the fact that these floor plans are off and there's 3 feet missing. And that's going to take down the price because I see it in here. So during the hostage scene, Julia begs the robber to shoot the lock of the bathroom door because she's like, dude, I got to pee. Shoot it. I got to go in. And a man dressed in a rabbit's costume.
I'm super pregnant. Just freaking open this door.
I'm gonna pee myself.
Yes. So a man dressed in a rabbit costume emerges from the bathroom. He's wearing a rabbit mask, no shirt, and no pants. He's literally in boxers and a rabbit head.
And a rabbit head. Which I imagine like an Easter bunny rabbit head.
Yes.
Like big.
Bulky, like out to his shoulders.
Yes.
And his name is Leonard. Annalena hired him, crashed the show so Roger could make an offer and win the apartment. He basically has these packages that he offers people.
He's like, Annalena's a great customer and she's one of my best customers. She's gotten all kinds of packages, but this one is a fan favorite. Bunny on the shitter.
Yeah. Yes. So basically they hire him to sabotage these open homes so that Annalena and Roger can offer less money for the chaos that he created. And
There's
then
going to be less people putting bids on it.
Yes.
And it's okay.
they can get the house for lower cost per square foot.
She just wants Roger to win.
Yes.
Which I think it's a little bit endearing.
A little bit, yeah.
But it
Especially
is to
when you
him-
find out more of their story,
Yeah.
you're like, oh, she was really just trying to make him feel like the big man.
Yes.
Yes.
But he feels it's belittling.
betrayal.
You don't trust me to just do a good job of haggling?
Yes. You don't think I'm a great negotiator? You had
Right.
to hire somebody to help me negotiate?
Yes.
I thought my
This isn't
skills were the best.
First time?
Yeah, because she had done it multiple
So many
times.
times. She's a great customer.
So Roger feels hurt and betrayed. And
But when
Roger...
they first come out, you're like, Annalena's like, I'm so sorry,
You think
Roger.
he's-
And
I thought she was cheating on him
she's
with
cheating
the
on
rabbit.
Oh, I
right?
thought,
Like, there's like,
I thought she
yes.
was too. And I'm like, they banging
He's
in
like,
there?
what are you into?
Yes. So Roger punches Leonard. And then in the chaos... Annalena's like, I just need to give him time and give him his own space. So she goes into the walk-in closet and
Yes.
just like hides, essentially.
Which, like, everyone has different ideas of what this walk-in closet would be. Like, Ro is like, this could be our cheese room.
Oh, yeah, the cheese
And,
room.
Oh, yeah, because Ro just does whatever her heart
a
desires.
hobbyist.
She gets
Yeah.
a new hobby every month.
And right now it's cheeses.
Yes.
We can age our cheeses in here. It's so
You're not
roomy.
turning my fucking walk-in closet
Yes.
into a cheese aging center.
Yeah.
You gotta be fucked up.
So then we jump to the transcript of Jack and Roger. Roger doesn't answer any questions directly and instead talks about how awful retirement has been.
Yeah.
So Roger, the bank robber, and Ro, they're all sitting in the hallway and they talk about relationships. Roger thinks about how devastated he feels about Annalena's betrayal and how he feels useless without her by his side. You learn that they really do have a sweet relationship and that this whole thing is just a misunderstanding, but they're deep in it right now.
And that is what, like, Annalena is really talking about in this interrogation is, I love Roger,
Yeah.
I do, right? And he's like, where is the bank robber?
And who is the damn rabbit?
Yes.
During the hostage scene, Julia gets into the closet to comfort Annalena. She decides, I'm going to go in there with her. She probably needs some, because she goes in bawling her eyes out. Julia tries to sympathize and says that Roger must be very overbearing, but Annalena defends him. They each are defending each other's honor. And Julia is shocked to learn that Roger isn't who she thought he was. Julia says she's scared to become a mother, but Annalena encourages her.
It's a very intimate, endearing moment in the closet.
Where they kind of, again, talking to a stranger, divulge some private, intimate things with each other that they probably needed to hear, honestly.
This is her way of trying to like boost
owe
him up.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
Like-
let me have the life and career that I wanted and gave up his.
To
Yeah.
stroke his ego a little bit, like give him a little bit of that win.
So if I can buy a million homes and go into apartment after apartment after apartment, then that's what I'm going
That's
to do
what
for
we're
now,
doing.
even though I don't love it.
Yeah.
Yes. So the robber feels sorry for herself, and Rose suggests that they at least order some pizza. Roger organizes the pizza delivery. It's hilarious because, like, The robber's feeling terrible, right? Rose suggests, because they've been in there for hours now, so they're hungry, and Roger starts asking for pizza.
Julia, who's super pregnant, is like, I want a Hawaiian, but I don't want pineapple on it, and I don't want any ham. I'd rather it just be bacon, and I'd like, and she adds all stuff, and he's like, that's not a Hawaiian.
No.
I'll just get you a meat lovers. And he gets one whole pizza
for himself.
Per person.
Yeah, because Rose, like, we could get something out of this. Like,
well, because, like, what's your next move? Well, usually it's a
you get to ask
demand.
for things. Yeah.
Yes.
So you've got to do that, right?
You got to get some food.
Yes.
So Jack and Jim search the apartment to see if Jack's theory is true. They eventually find an attic passway in the closet.
Like
So
there's somewhere that they're hiding, and now we know there's a walk-in closet, but that wasn't on the...
Or there's
this
a gap.
Flashes forward. They're walking the apartment now after the hostages have left. And they are kind of trying to understand, because Jack has this theory that he thinks that the bank robber must still be in the apartment. So they start to walk it to understand, and they find an attic passageway in the closet, and Jack climbs up and finds Leonard's rabbit head.
He's like, I knew it.
Yes.
There's someone hiding up here.
Okay, so we flash back to the hostage situation, and Roger takes everyone's pizza order and attaches the order to a lime and throws it off the balcony to the waiting cops, because they're like, how are we going to get them this pizza order? He's like, well, just use this lemon or the lime. The lime hits...
and you're not allowed to eat? Those are house showing limes. You can't eat those.
Oh, yeah, because Ro, like a fucking animal, starts chewing on the damn limes.
She's hungry.
Rind and all. And Anna Lena's like, those are the house showing limes. You can't eat those.
Every house showing has a basket of limes. You're not for eating.
They're for showing. But the fact that he chucks this fucking lime out the window.
Chucks it off the balcony, and it freaking hits Jack in the head and leaves a huge bump. Also, amazing aim that he actually hits the man in the head from however many stories up.
Roger's been a stay-at-home daddy his whole life. He knows how to throw a ball.
And that ends my chumps with Jack and this large lump on his dome piece.
His lovely lady love. Check it out.
Now we go into my chumps, which are 44 through 59. Jack realizes that nobody could escape through the attic passage. Another cop comes into the apartment and says the blood is staged. It's like there was a cop standing in front of the apartment, making sure no one entered or exited without him knowing. And he makes a comment like, well, that blood is stage blood. And Jack's like, I'm sorry, what? He's like, yeah, I do a little bit of magic in my spare time. And I use stage blood all the time. It's the way that it's drying. You can tell it's not real blood. So this gives Jack the ideas that the bank robber must be some of the hostages. Like this bank robber obviously snuck out with everyone. We go into the transcript of Jack, Julia, and Ro. Jack wanted to talk to them individually, but they insisted on a joint interview. And Jack, again, can't get straight answers from them.
It's such a joke.
While in the apartment, Jack realizes the bank robber didn't shoot the gun. A phone vibrated and shook the gun from the table, and it must have gone off when it hit the floor. So it was a real gun.
Yes.
Everyone thought it was fake, and the only reason why it went off was because
The phone vibrated.
and dropped and shot. The narrator remembers when Jim's wife and Jack's mother died. She was the glue that held the family together. And things have been really difficult since then. With Jack's sister, it complicates things because she only calls him or their father when she wants money. And Jack feels like he has to save her. He has a hero complex, right?
Yeah.
During the hostage scene, the robber thinks about how much she has failed her daughters. When the pizza arrives, the robber is revealed to be a woman. She talks about how her ex-husband has left her for her boss, and she is a mom who is trying to get custody of her daughters, or at least keep some sort of something with her daughters. And so it really flips the script, I think, a little bit, because everyone's been thinking it's a dude and now it's a woman. And I think I was like, I knew it, and then immediately I thought it's the real estate agent.
Because you don't know who the bank robber is really within the apartment.
Right. You know
just
the story and you know that all, but when you're in the interviews, it really could almost be any of them.
Yes.
Almost. I feel like there's some people where it's definitely not this person. The real estate agent has been elusive, though.
Yeah,
Yes.
I thought the real estate agent was locked in the bathroom. And then when it turned out to be Leonard, and then
this part.
I didn't know this person was a girl until this happened. And then I was like, oh shit, she's the real estate agent.
Where's the real estate agent in all this?
She has to be the real estate agent.
Yes, that's exactly samesies. So when the pizza arrives, Zara eats pizza for the first time.
Her whole life.
She's never eaten pizza, and she thinks it's disgusting.
Because she had a capricosa.
Also, her and like Larrett have a moment, which I don't know.
Oh, yeah, her and Leonard when they're on the balcony.
Yeah, when her and Leonard have a moment, like there's a little something happening on this balcony here. Back at the station, Jack accuses the real estate agent of being the bank robber, which is what we're all thinking, okay? And she's just in disguise. Like you're just pretending to be the real estate agent. The narrator thinks about Jack's mother, who was a priest. And
I would have liked to have known Jack's mother. The way they described her, she sounded like a good time.
because she was like, I'm a good Christian lady. But like, she's a priest, but she was also a jokester and a prankster. And Jack and Jim think about her a lot. And during the hostage scene, Jack was on the phone with the hostage negotiator.
From Stockholm.
Jim took the pizzas up to the apartment. Jack interrogates the real estate agent and keeps claiming that she is really the robber. The narrator claims this is a love story. So again, throughout this whole story, the narrator is changing what this story is about. Like, this is a story about idiots. Maybe this story is a love story.
Maybe it's about a bank robber.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe it's about a mom.
Yeah.
To explain, they flash back to the appointment that Zara had with Nadia. Nadia believes Zara needs to feel more. Zara admits the personal detail that she listens to loud death metal in order to find peace. Like the loud death metal is the only thing that quiets her mind. Flashing back to Jack talking to the hostage negotiator, the negotiator tells a story about a hostage situation. He was able to free the hostages, but the perpetrator died by suicide afterward. The negotiator asks Jack why he turned down the promotion in Stockholm, but he doesn't answer. So it's clear Jack's been asked to get, like he's been given a promotion, but he's got to go to a different station and he doesn't talk about it, but it's because of his daddy.
Yeah, but you would think like he's so irritated with his dad this whole time. Like, you won't let me be this badass cop, Dad.
And
but
he really, like, he's really upset about things.
all the time.
They like really clash.
Yeah.
My dad doesn't even know how to answer a voicemail or something, right? Like, it's like this whole.
But his dad's just so patient with him.
Yes.
And I just imagine
Sorry,
this like
Jim.
rosy-cheeked, like Santa Claus-esque man as his dad.
Yes. And he's definitely got a lot more of the feels. And Jack's like by the book.
Yeah.
Because he's
And-
fresh. He's fresh out. He's got it all in his brain right now.
Back in the apartment, while standing on the balcony, looking at the bridge, because you could see the bridge where the man at the beginning has jumped and where Nadia was. And that's like all tied to so many people's stories is that bridge. And Zara likes to look at these apartments that she could see the bridge from. So while standing on the balcony, looking at the bridge and listening to her death metal, Leonard tries to make small talk with Zara.
Oh, because that was part of Nadia's thing. She was like, you listen to it in your car, just buy yourself headphones.
So you could listen to it anywhere.
And calm
Yes.
yourself wherever you are.
Yeah. She like gives her a prescription, but it's like, go to Best Buy at this address. Buy yourself some headphones. Estelle gets into the closet with Annalena, which Estelle is the older lady. She's in there with Annalena and Julia. Estelle talks about her marriage. Canute.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, he was out parking the car. And Estelle feels that he's on a great adventure because it comes out that he's actually passed away. And Canute is not with me, but I come and I look at these apartments, and Estelle feels that he's now on this great adventure. And while she's stuck in the beautiful prison, Canute has passed, but Annalena admits she was a senior analyst before she retired. Like, she was super smart. And on the balcony, Leonard mentioned something like, oh, Annalena and Roger are going to make it. They're real love. And Annalena's probably the smartest person in this room. And Zara's like,
So offended, like
Yeah,
you
right?
clearly don't know me.
Did you hear her
right.
talking?
So she used to be a senior analyst before she retired. And this surprises Julia because she thought of her as this submissive woman. Julia admits her father was abusive, but her mother was a strong single woman. She talks about how she fell in love with Ro while she was engaged to someone else.
Yeah.
Estelle admits to an emotional affair with her neighbor who loved books. She never slept with him, but she's like,
They exchanged books and messages within the books. And
Yes. And he gave her a key to his apartment.
he was like, "Hey, girl, you want to come over?"
It was kind of like,
it was
oh,
scandalous.
let's take this book note to the next level.
Yes.
Let
Like,
me
here's
give
a
you my
key.
footnote. You know what I'm saying?
If you gonna use this key, I'm gonna be home.
Yeah, right. And she does feel a little bit like guilt about it
Yeah,
all.
yeah.
But
It's an
she
emotional
loved
cheating for sure.
Knut. Yeah. And so she's like, all spilling this secret.
Like, this is huge secret to this bunch of strangers, and
He
she's like,
gave me the key to his apartment. I never used it, of course, right? Like,
confessions of a 90-year-old.
Yeah.
Like,
but then even the neighbor also passed away. The women hear a noise coming from above the closet, which also, by the way, while they're in the closet, Estelle keeps like, oh, this seems like it'd be a perfect place to keep some wine. And so she's like pulling out bottles of wine, drinking the wine.
Oh,
there.
yeah,
She's
from
getting
like
all
the
tipsy.
settee and the
Yes.
ottoman. She's
They're
like,
how'd you know that was there? She's like, oh, it just seems like the right place to keep a bottle of wine.
and I was thinking, this has got to be this bitch's house.
yes.
So the women hear a noise coming from the closet and they find the real estate agent is in the attic. So back at the police station, Jack continues to yell at the real estate agent and accuses her of the bank robbery. Like, he's like, I know it was you, but now we know that we were wrong.
And then we jump into the last round of chapters 60 to 74. Jim tells Jack that he spoke to the bank robber. And Jack is like, when the fuck did you do that, Dad? And he says the bank robber has requested fireworks, but the narrator is adamant that Jim may be lying. Leonard has just fallen out of the attic, so he comes into the closet and he's peering inside the attic and his head gets stuck and then he falls out of the hole in the
Because
attic
the whole
ceiling.
time he's had his rabbit head on, he hasn't been able to, no one could see his face. He's got stuck in there. And then now it's stuck. That's why it was in the attic when the Jim looked in there.
Yes.
Or Jack.
He falls and he's bleeding and he's like, oh, it's theater blood. And he explains like, it's part of the premium package. If the shitting rabbit on the thing doesn't get anybody going, I got these blood pouches in here to spice it up. And so the agent reveals that she was terrified.
Zara's like, my hero.
But she's disgusted with herself. The agent reveals she was terrified of the robber and was hiding in the attic. So the robber came in, and this real estate agent was like, no, and bolted up into the attic ceiling.
Yeah.
In an act of kindness,
said
Julia
Robert.
asked Roger to show her how to light the fire in the fireplace because she's realizing like he's just a father figure, like just an old guy who wants to feel useful.
And all of his kids have grown.
So Jim knocks on the door holding the pizzas and the robber tries to answer it, but everyone stops her because they think that the cops are going to shoot her. So both Robert and Leonard beg her to let them answer the door. But then it jumps back to the police station and Jack angrily storms out of the interrogation room. He's so pissed off that the real estate agent is not admitting to being the robber. And Jim comes in and he says he believes her. And they like reminisce about his late wife, Jack's mom. And Jack wonders how his father knows the real estate agent isn't really the bank robber. And Jim admits it's because he's been lying.
Because I've talked to the bank robber.
Yeah, exactly. And Jack's like, what?
Yeah. So the former hostages are all released from the station together. Once outside, they ask each other how the interviews went. Estelle had given her number to the robber and gets a text saying that she's doing well. So London emerges from the station too, and everyone welcomes her. They're like this big welcoming party outside the station.
Like,
and
you were kind of a part of this, even though you weren't. Like,
yeah.
you
And Rose like, do you want to come with coffee? To come get coffee with us. She's kind of like, oh my God, you guys want to be my friend.
Yeah.
I've been so angry because nobody wants to be my friend. So Julie admits to Estelle that she and Ro bought the apartment next to hers. And Estelle's like, what do you mean? It was Estelle that was selling her apartment because her husband passed away. But the apartment across was the couple in the very beginning. When Jim called them, they were like, oh, we're breaking up and we're going to sell our apartment. And then they talked to the real estate agent, and they're like, we want to buy this apartment. And she's like, you don't put two apartments across from each other up at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
But she doesn't have a key for it because she's like, why would I carry around a key? And Estelle's like, I have a key to it.
A different, because it was
Locked up in the book
emotional
on her bookshelf.
affair.
Yes. So Jim finally tells Jack the truth. When he gave the robber the pizzas, he realized the robber was a woman, and she reminded him of his daughter. When they talked, he realized she was a good person in a bad situation, and he decided not to arrest her and for her to use the vacant apartment across the hall.
They work out like the whole escape route. He's like,
I know
you
nobody's in
let
there.
the hostages out, and then it's going to take a minute because we have to take the hostages to the station. We're going to have to come back and look at the apartment. So if you, at that time, slip out and move into the next apartment, we'll come back and we'll storm this apartment.
Yes.
And she's like, but what if you guys, he's like, we can't storm that apartment. We got to go get a search warrant. We're going to have to go to the judge.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
not possible. So just slip on in there and we will never see you.
Yeah.
So the narrator flashes back to the hostage scene. Fireworks start going off at the bank of the river at the robber's request. And Estelle appreciates them and thinks Knut would have loved them. And everyone thinks of ways to help the robber escape. They start brainstorming. And it's revealed that the agent will soon be selling the apartment across the hall. This means it's vacant and could be a hiding spot. Unfortunately, the agent doesn't have the key. Estelle informs everyone that they're all in her apartment, and she requested a showing to ease her loneliness. Like, I was never really selling my apartment.
She was thinking about it, but as people are watching, she's like, I really want it. My daughter really wants me to sell it, so I did this to appeal to her and like appease her, but I think I'll be okay.
Yeah, because the whole time they're like, who has a viewing of an apartment the day before New Year's? Or
Yes.
like the day before New Year's Eve or whatever night it was.
She reveals she has the key to the vacant apartment because it once belonged to the man she had an emotional affair with. The hostages walk out of the apartment. They walk past Jim in the hallway, and after they exit the building, Jim and the robber exchange a long glance. She tells him that his secret about helping her is safe, and she goes into the vacant apartment. Jim finishes telling Jack everything. Jack wants to be angry, so instead he goes outside to make a statement to the reporters. He covers for his father and says the robber got away. Afterwards, they go home, watch TV, and have a beer together, which Jack had never done because he's all about green juice and fitness. So Estelle expresses her gratitude for having met the other hostages. The narrator provides an overview of the characters' futures. So Roe's father passes away soon, but she'll make a good mother because she will rob banks if necessary for him. Mm-hmm. Julia and Roe's marriage will continue to grow. Zara and Leonard will ride in a taxi together, and it's implied that something romantic will start between them. Roger will take Anna Lena to a movie, which is wild because it's like a fun spending of money that he never does.
Yes.
Estelle will invite the bank robber and her daughters to move into her apartment with her and cover her rent. And Estelle eventually dies. Mm-hmm. The narrator also says that the bank robber prevented another robbery from happening. She found the pistol she used hidden among blankets in a basement. Because she took the pistol, the gun's real owner couldn't carry out the robbery the day after New Year's. Nadia talks to her father on the phone, but it's implied that he's Roger. And Zara admits to Nadia that she quit her job and hopes to move on to something new. Zara hands Nadia the unopened letter from the man on the bridge, and she's finally ready to hear what it says and asks Nadia to read it to her. Zara drops the letter off the bridge and watches it fall into the water. The letter said, "It wasn't your fault," and she gets into her car with Leonard afterwards, which is wild because all of these years she's like, this letter is blaming me. It's telling me I'm a bad person, and it was really leaving her guilt. Yeah. The bank robber thinks back to the story written by her daughter. It was about a princess who felt torn between two kingdoms, and it reflected her anxieties about the divorce. One day, the robber...
Sorry, I know we mentioned the photo, but we know it's the robber's photo of like the little girls drew because one of her daughters she refers to as monkey. One of them she refers to as
A frog or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And she's the giraffe or something. Yeah.
One day, the robber and her daughters are walking outside. Jim and Jack drive by in their police car, and the robber is terrified. She's like, this is it. They're coming back for me. And Jim tells Jack he understands if he wants to arrest her, but Jack says he just wanted to see her so that the two of them can be in this like lie together. Mm-hmm. Jack tells his father they're going to get coffee, which again, he never does, all green juice. And then they're going to go drive and bring his sister home. Jack shows up in Nadia's office because he received an anonymous letter with her address on it and a picture of the bridge. The letter was really from Zara. And when Nadia answers his knock, he realizes she's the girl he saved. And after reading the letter, Nadia realizes he is the boy that saved her. This is the start of a deeper connection between the two of them. At the end, the narrator directly addresses the audience and says, "We're doing the best we can. We really are. And we should not be so hard on ourselves because at least we made it through this day."
Sunny's crying. Did it make you cry when you read the book too?
I think I probably teared up a little bit, but
The ending did make me tear up a little.
Really?
Like
Yeah.
I wasn't sobbing in some of the books we read, but
Yeah,
I do think there were parts of it that made me tear up and just felt like, thank you for making me feel seen.
I look up and Sunny's got full on like glassy eyes.
Yeah. That's anxious people.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, we are.
I'm anxious now.
Seriously. Well, now we have to rate this book. All right. So we rate our books on a 3-shot system. 1 shot is I'm not coming back for more. 2 shots is it's good enough for another, but not worth the hangover. And 3 shots is it got me up. Yeah. All right. Well, this was my choice, and I'm going to, so I'll rate it first. But I was a little bit between 2 and 3 shots again, because, I mentioned this in the last episode. Like, it's hard to have books in the same category as these, like, some of these books that we've read have just been knocked it out of the park. Amazing. So this was one that I was around 2 to 3 shots up until the moment when you were reading that last line and I started crying again. So I'm going to rate this one 3 shots. I think that there's a chance that the next time we get together, I might say, no, I think I'd let it settle as a 2. But right now, I do think it's a 3 shot for me.
I am also going to give it 3 shots. I really liked the way this book was written.
Yes.
It had some really fun quips that were written in there, and it deals with a lot of very serious, sad topics, but the way it was like woven and written and how it jumped back and forth, and the narrator was just funny in between until that last part where it made me cry. So I am going to say 3 shots.
It made me laugh out loud in some parts.
Yes.
And I feel like you said, they were some heavy topics. And the way it was starting off, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to like this. But the more it got into it, I was like, oh, I would read more by him.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a fun read.
Yes.
With all kinds of heavy topics.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So as I was listening to it, I was like, I don't know how I feel about this book. Like, it's kind of like, okay, yeah, this is good. But also, like, I catch myself zoning out a little bit, maybe just because of the timing and what I was going through, I guess, at the time. But now going back and doing the chumps with you guys and reliving it, also, I feel like your guys' interpretation, your guys' comments towards certain things, and sometimes going through the chumpies really like revives the book in my mind. And then having active conversation makes it so much more enjoyable.
Yeah.
So in the moment, listening to it, 2 shots, but I think now having gone back through it, I do like it more than I thought. So 3.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. All right.
It's our second book of the year. We're all 3 shots.
Nice.
What was the other one?
Dungeon Crawler.
Oh,
Yeah. That's a wrap on this episode of Literature on the Rocks. We unpacked Anxious People by Fredrik Backman, a story full of chaos, heart, and the reminder that everyone is just doing the best they can, even when it doesn't look like it. The prompts are live now, so make sure you go answer them before next week's book club. We can't wait to hear your thoughts. And don't forget to subscribe because we're here for you every Wednesday.
And if the episode made you laugh, reflect, or feel a little too seen, go ahead and rate and review the podcast. It helps other perfectly imperfect people find their way here. Because honestly, we're all just doing our best, even when it doesn't look like it.
Not a great robbery, not a great plan, but surprisingly a great story. If Anxious People made you laugh, cringe, or feel seen, follow @Lit on the Rocks Pod on Instagram and TikTok, and head to literatureontherocks.com.
Until next time, may your anxieties be manageable, your people be understanding, and your perspective just a little more compassionate. Cheers.
Toodaloo.
Bye.